Modern productivity is a trap that breeds constant anxiety, but the ancient scribes held a secret weapon against burnout. How we drown in frantic data. They practiced the unhurried gaze, a ritual where every stroke of ink was a holy labor. Discover how turning your focus into an act of devotion can permanently silence the noise of the 21st century. We live in an age of the high-speed ghost. We move through our tasks as if we are being chased. You check your emails, you rush your meals, you skim through pages of information, and you wonder why your chest feels tight by 2 p.m. You have been trained to believe that speed equals value. But to the royal scribe of the Old Kingdom, speed was a symptom of a disordered soul. In the house of life, the ancient centers of learning, becoming a scribe was unjust about learning to read and write. It was a rigorous biological conditioning. They didn't just record history. They were the stabilizers of reality. They understood a psychological law that modern therapy is only now rediscovering. Anxiety cannot exist in the presence of intentional observation. When you are anxious, your mind is in the projected future. You are worrying about the next task, the next deadline, or the next failure. You are living in a simulation. The scribe, however, was anchored by the chisel and the ink. The first pillar of their no anxiety code was the ritual of the preparation. Today, we start our work by clicking a button. It is too easy, too instant. There is no friction to slow the mind down. The scribe had to grind their own pigments, had to hand cut their own reeds. They had to prepare the papyrus, This pre-work was a biological buffer. It allowed the nervous system to transition from the reactive mode of the world into the deep state of the work. By the time the first drop of ink hit the surface, the heart rate had already slowed. The noise had been filtered out by the physical labor of preparation. If you want to kill your anxiety, you must create friction before you start your day. You must earn the right to focus. The second pillar is the unhurried gaze. Look at the hieroglyphs. They are not mere letters. They are biological art. To write the symbol for owl or reed, the scribe had to observe the living world with a level of intensity that we have lost. They didn't just see an owl, they studied its geometry, its weight, and its essence. This is the sacred psychology of observation. When you focus all of your visual and mental energy on the minute details of a single physical object, the default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for rumination and anxiety, really shuts down. It has no room to operate. The scribe didn't have burnout because their work was a form of continuous meditation. They weren't outputting data, They were inhaling reality. The third pillar, and perhaps the most important for the modern man, is the weight of the stroke. We type on keyboards where every letter feels the same. There is no physical consequence to our work. But for the scribe, every stroke was a permanent commitment. There was no delete key in the house of life. This created a state of absolute presence. When the cost of a mistake is high, the focus becomes absolute. We are anxious because our work feels light. It's digital. It's fleeting. It doesn't matter. Scribe treated every document as a holy labor that would last for 3,000 years. Didn't feel pressure. They felt significance. When your work has weight, your mind stops drifting. You have been told that to be productive, you must be a machine. You must be fast, cold, and efficient. But a machine can be broken by a single grain of sand. The scribe was a mountain. They didn't do their work. They were their work. If you want to permanently silence the noise of the 21st century, you must stop processing and start observing. You must find the unhurried gaze in your own life. Whether you are coding, writing, or building a business, treat the next hour as if it is a stone you are carving for eternity. The anxiety you feel is just the soul's protest against being rushed. It is the mind's way of saying, I am not a processor. I am a creator. Stop the frantic data. Stop the shallow skim. Cube up your chisel. Grind your pigment. Look at the world until it looks back at you. Respect the labor. Command the focus. Subscribe to Pharaoh Phoenix for more ancient wisdom.